Bangladesh is changing direction and India is beginning to feel it. New Delhi is worried, Dhaka is keeping quiet, and in the middle of this diplomatic uncertainty, a much bigger story is emerging. India was apparently preparing for the ceremonial welcome of Bangladeshi Prime Minister Tarique Rahman. India's President's Office, Rashtrapati Bhavan, issued an official notice. Change of guard ceremony scheduled for Saturday was being cancelled because there was going to be a rehearsal for the ceremonial welcome of Bangladeshi Prime Minister. But Bangladesh had not officially confirmed the visit. Then, within just 1 hour, India's President's Office withdrew that notice. No explanation, no clarification, just gone. So what happened? Did New Delhi announce the visit before Dhaka was ready? Or was Dhaka simply not ready to say yes? Whatever happened, this is not normal diplomacy. And this story is not just about one visit. This is about Bangladesh changing foreign policy. This is tonight's pivot, and I am Ali Furqan. Let's begin. Because while India is waiting for Tarique Rahman, Bangladesh is looking in other directions. China has already received Tarique Rahman, Türkiye and Dhaka are expanding their defense relations. Saudi Arabia has invited Tarique Rahman to Riyadh. And Pakistan? Pakistan is suddenly back in the conversation. Why? Because something very big has happened. The Makkah Mutual Defence Agreement, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Türkiye, 3 countries have signed a mutual defence agreement. An armed attack against one will be treated as an attack against all 3. And now, Bangladesh, a country of nearly 180 million people, a major South Asian power, a country with a significant military, is saying that it is positively considering the possibility of joining an economic and defense framework involving Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Turkey. Let that sink in. Think about what this means. Bangladesh is considering a defense framework with Pakistan, the same Pakistan that was once one country with Bangladesh, East Pakistan and West Pakistan, until the two separated in 1971 following the war between Pakistan and India. And this is where the two-nation theory comes into the story. In 1947, Pakistan was created on the basis of the two-nation theory. The idea was that the Muslims and Hindus of British India constituted distinct nations, and that Muslims needed their own political homeland. Bangladesh later separated from Pakistan in 1971. The map changed, the states changed, but history did not disappear. Pakistan and Bangladesh had emerged from the same political struggle, and both have Muslim majority population. For decades, after 1971, India's influence in Bangladesh grew enormously, economically, politically, strategically, and during the Sheikh Hasina era, Dhaka moved extraordinarily close to India. But that era is over. And now, the question is, what comes next for Bangladesh? Bangladesh has not simply changed. It has in many ways returned to the two-nation theory. Today's young Bangladeshi generation is increasingly unwilling to accept India's influence in its affairs. And that is why New Bangladesh is talking about a new foreign policy. Bangladesh first, no India first, no China first, no Pakistan first, Bangladesh first. And that is the change that could alter everything. And that is the change that could alter everything. Look at the signals. Tarique Rahman goes to China. Relations with Beijing enter a new phase. Dhaka wants deeper economic and strategic engagement with China, but does not want to become dependent on China either. Then there is Türkiye. Turkey is becoming a growing defense partner of Bangladesh. Weapons, military equipment, defense cooperation. And now, Turkey is one of the three pillars of the Makkah Mutual Defence Agreement. Then comes Saudi Arabia. On August 17, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman invite Tarique Rahman to visit Riyadh. Now ask yourself, if the India visit remains uncertain, if Dhaka is not showing any hurry for a high-level visit to New Delhi, and if Riyadh has opened its doors, could Saudi Arabia become Tarique Rahman's next major foreign policy destination? If that happens, it will be more than just a foreign visit, because Riyadh is one of the three countries behind the Makkah Mutual Defence Agreement, and Bangladesh has just said that it is positively considering the possibility of joining such a framework. That is the connection. This is the story, and there is another country watching all this very carefully. India. India shares a long border with Bangladesh. India has enormous economic interest, security interest, trade interest, and regional connectivity interest. And New Delhi does not want another difficult relationship on its eastern border. That is why India's response to Makkah Mutual Defence Agreement was carefully measured. Indian Foreign Ministry said it was closely following developments in West Asia. A routine statement, perhaps. But in diplomacy, sometimes the careful answer is the most meaningful answer. Because look at the strategic map. Pakistan, Türkiye, Saudi Arabia, and potentially Bangladesh. A defense framework that began in West Asia could now potentially acquire a South Asian dimension. Now let's be clear. That's not yet an anti-India alliance. Makkah Agreement has been presented by the members as a defense agreement. Bangladesh has not joined it, and Bangladesh has not said that it is abandoning India. But Bangladesh is clearly expanding its options, and that is what India should be watching. Because the real change is not Bangladesh versus India. The real change is Bangladesh refusing to depend on India, and that distinction matters. India will remain Bangladesh's neighbor, China will remain a major economic power, Saudi Arabia will remain extremely important to Bangladesh because of millions of Bangladeshi workers there, because of investment and because of economic ties. Turkey is becoming increasingly important in defense. Pakistan is rebuilding political and economic links with Dhaka. And Bangladesh wants relations with all of them, but on its own terms. That is why the India visit matters. Because Dhaka is not saying a no relationship with India. Dhaka's message appears to be not on Indian terms. Bangladesh Foreign Affairs Advisor has also made it clear that there is no hurry for a high-level visit to New Delhi unless there is a suitable diplomatic environment, mutual trust, respect of sovereignty, and a dignified invitation. And then there is elephant in the room. The issue nobody can ignore. Sheikh Hasina, her presence in India. Dhaka's demand for her extradition and her political activities from Indian soil. All of this has poisoned the relationship between the two governments. So, perhaps New Delhi is facing an uncomfortable reality. Bangladesh of Sheikh Hasina is gone, and the Bangladesh of Tarique Rahman wants to negotiate on different terms. So what happens next? Will Tarique Rahman go to New Delhi or Riyadh? Will Bangladesh eventually join the Makkah Mutual Defence Agreement? Will Pakistan and Bangladesh move from historical hostility towards strategic cooperation? Can Türkiye become a bridge between South Asia and the Gulf? And the biggest question, is Bangladesh moving out of India's sphere of influence? Maybe. But perhaps there is even a bigger question. Is Bangladesh finally building a sphere of its own? Because this is not just about a cancelled change of God ceremony. It is not just about one invitation. It is not just about China, and it is not just about Makkah Mutual Defence Agreement. Put all these pieces together and you will see something much bigger. A new Bangladesh is emerging. A Bangladesh that remembers its history but does not want history to dictate every relationship. A Bangladesh that wants relations with India but also with China. That wants Saudi Arabia and Türkiye. That is rebuilding relations with Pakistan and wants the freedom to choose its own partners. So tonight, the question is not will Bangladesh go to India or not? The real question is where is Bangladesh going? Because if Tarique Rahman chooses Riyadh instead of New Delhi, and if Bangladesh eventually becomes part of the Makkah Mutual Defence Framework, then the message will be unmistakable. Dhaka has not simply changed its government. Dhaka may be changing its geopolitical direction. And that could change South Asia. This was The Pivot, and I am Ali Furqan. Thank you for watching.